are going to fill up Abe's water trough while we're here. We did already talk about sort of hay and grain and nutrition, but we haven't talked about the importance of water yet. So water is actually arguably one of the most important nutrients for a horse, just because they're such a big animal and that's a lot of body to keep hydrated. So these big troughs, they hold about 150 gallons or 568 liters of water. And one horse drinks about 20 to 30 liters of water per day. So I'm just going to make sure water's actually coming out. Perfect. So it's really important that we keep our water troughs clean and that we keep them full so that our horses have constant access to clean, fresh water, because it's really easy for them to get dehydrated. So what would happen is about once a week, once every 2 weeks, we let the waters get fairly low in water, and then we'll dump the rest out and scrub them, because horses can be a little bit picky, and if their water isn't clean, they likely won't drink it. They'd almost rather go thirsty than drink dirty water. So it's really important that we keep them clean. And then it's also really important that we keep them full, because even when we let them get down so that we can clean it, horses won't always drink out of them if it's really low, because they want that clean, fresh water, and it's not very fresh if they've already drank most of it. And they also love to soak their hay in it, so it gives us lots to clean. And one other thing while we're talking about the importance of water is also electrolytes. So something that we haven't done before, but I talked a little bit about with O'Malley, is especially on hot summer days, sometimes water isn't enough to keep them hydrated. So something that we're going to start doing is adding electrolyte powder into their grain when it's a really hot summer day. Some of you might remember a couple days that we had to cancel over the summer because of the heat, where it was almost 40 degrees out. So what those electrolytes do is it allows their body to be more hydrated, and it encourages them to drink more water. So consuming those electrolytes, like we talked about the salt is a big one, and then there's also some potassium in there. So it encourages them to drink, and it also allows their body to use that water and absorb it.
Now, why do I not see more? Sometimes you can see salt and mineral blocks in paddocks. What's the philosophy here at Hope Haven with regards to blocks?
We do use them, but I actually just listened to a podcast on this yesterday. So those were created and designed for cows who have really rough tongues. So they make them for horses, but horses have a lot softer tongues. So I don't know if you've ever like licked a jawbreaker and then it gets really rough on your tongue. That's kind of what it turns into for horses. So they know the salt's there and they want it, but their tongues are a little bit too soft that they get sore from licking it. So in order to get the amount of salt they need from it, their tongue gets so sore from doing it that they don't always consume enough. So by adding the electrolyte powder into their grain, and for O'Malley by adding the salt, then they can get it without having to lick the block. We do still provide it to them because some of them will just go to town on it and it's okay, but not all of them will do that. So we like to provide it through their diet as well as the block.